On a quiet, cold alien planet named Arion, everything is silent and the wind blows softly across the blue ground. A human explorer named John walks alone wearing his special suit and carrying a small scanner. His ship is parked far behind him, and his mission is to collect rare stones for the Earth Science Council. John loves space adventures and dreams about finding something new or exciting. He moves carefully because the planet is full of mysteries and unknown dangers. Suddenly he sees something strange in the distance lying near a glowing tree. It looks like a body small and covered in silver cloth. John stops and tries to look closely using his scanner. The device shows weak life signs. He feels his heart beating faster because he has never found another living thing on this planet. Before he runs towards the figure and kneels down. It is a young alien girl with pale skin and beautiful purple eyes closed tight. She seems hurt, and there is a blue liquid on her arm that looks like blood. Her breathing is slow and soft, almost fading away. John feels worried and wants to help her. He remembers his training for alien rescue situations. He gently lifts her in his arms and tries to talk to her in English, and then in the common galactic language. She does not answer, but her lips move slowly as if she is saying something important. John cannot understand the words, but he promises to help her. The wind gets stronger and strange lights start to appear in the sky. He looks around nervously because Arion can be dangerous at night. He carries the alien girl quickly back to his ship. While walking, he sees glowing patterns forming on her skin like symbols written with light. The patterns move slowly and change shape every second. John has never seen anything like this before and feels both afraid and curious. He wonders if the symbols are a message or a warning. As he enters his ship, the automatic doors close behind him with a hiss. The warm air inside feels safe and welcoming. John puts the alien girl gently on the medical bed and asks the ship AI to scan her condition. The AI shows a complex report. Many of her body systems are different from human, and her blood has special energy. Her wounds look deep, but they start closing very fast as if by magic. John tries to use the healing tools, but the wounds heal before his eyes. The alien girl suddenly grabs his hand and looks at him with shining purple eyes. She whispers a word that sounds soft and musical. John thinks she is in pain and tries to comfort her. He does not know that this moment is changing everything. While he is focused on her wounds, a small mark appears on the back of his hand. It glows with the same light as the symbols on her skin. He does not notice it at first. He's only thinking about saving her. The ship AI warns him that strange energy is spreading in the medical room. The air feels electric and the lights flicker. John feels a chill down his spine. He looks around but sees nothing dangerous. He keeps trying to talk to the alien girl and asks simple questions. Who are you? Can you hear me? Do you need water? She only repeats the same strange word again and again. John feels confused. He records everything on his wrist camera just in case the council needs the information. Suddenly, the girl opens her eyes wide and looks deep into John's eyes. He feels a sudden wave of emotions inside his mind. Sadness, hope, fear, and something else. He wonders if she is speaking to him without words. At that moment, the ship shakes a little as if something powerful has touched it. From outside, John quickly checks the cameras, but sees only blue fog moving in the dark. He returns to the medical room and finds the alien girl sitting up, weak but awake. She touches her chest and then his hand. The glowing symbols on her skin start to move faster, and they connect with the mark on his hand. John feels a sharp pain like an electric shock, but he does not move away. He feels like he cannot move at all. The ship AI says a warning, unknown bio-link detected. Please proceed with caution. John looks at the alien girl and tries to ask her what is happening. She only smiles softly and whispers another word. John realizes he is part of something he does not understand. The ship lights grow dim and the mark on his hand shines even brighter. He stands there frozen between fear and curiosity. His mind is full of questions. Who is she? Why do the symbols connect with him? Is this a rescue or a trap? The blue fog outside grows thicker. The ship shakes again. John knows this night will not be easy. He holds the alien girl's hand and waits for answers. He does not know that by helping her, he has just started a ritual. Older than the stars themselves, something that will change his life forever. The strange energy in the room keeps growing while John stands still next to the alien girl. He feels as if time is moving slower inside the medical bay, and his own heartbeat becomes louder in his ears. The glowing mark on his hand begins to pulse with a soft light, almost in rhythm with the girl's own symbols. He looks at her face and sees confusion, mixed with hope in her purple eyes. For a moment he wonders if she is scared of him or maybe scared for him. He asks her name, but she only whispers the same word again. John does not know if she is saying help or thank you or something else. He thinks about using his translator device, so he quickly grabs it from the shelf and holds it between them. He asks again, "What is your name?" This time her voice comes out softer, and the device struggles to find a meaning. The word appears on the screen as Bond. John reads the word and feels more confused. Bond, what does that mean here? He remembers stories of ancient cultures where words could mean more than just friendship. He asks her, "Do you mean friend?" The girl tilts her head and repeats Bond. She takes his hand in both of hers and looks into his eyes. The mark on his hand shines again, and suddenly the lights in the room flicker. A sharp sound echoes through the ship as if a hidden alarm is ringing somewhere deep in the walls. The ship AI speaks in a calm but worried voice. "Unidentified energy source detected. Please monitor all life support systems." John glances at the control panel, but all systems still seem normal. He wonders if this strange energy is dangerous or if it is just a result of her healing process. The girl starts to hum a slow song. Her voice is soft and musical, and it fills the air with warmth. John listens carefully and feels sleepy for a moment. He shakes his head and asks her if she is feeling better. She nods and tries to stand, but her legs are still weak. John helps her sit back on the bed. He notices that the symbols on her skin move faster when he touches her, and slow down when he steps away. It is as if his presence is feeding her energy. Or maybe the bond is growing stronger. John records his observations on the ship log for the Science Council. He tries to keep calm and think like a scientist, but deep inside he feels nervous. Something very old and powerful is happening here. Suddenly the girl points at his chest, then at herself, and then at the window. John follows her gesture and looks outside. The blue fog from before is swirling around the ship and moving in strange patterns. He feels like they are not alone anymore. The girl looks afraid for the first time since he found her. She presses her hand to the mark on his hand and whispers the word Bond again. John asks her if the fog is dangerous. She shakes her head slowly, then draws a circle in the air with her finger and makes a sound like protection. He guesses the fog is helping them or hiding them from something. John tries to relax, but the ship AI reports another problem. Navigation system error, star maps offline, unknown interference detected. He realizes they are stuck here for now. The alien girl looks at him and smiles weakly. She reaches into her small silver bag and takes out a smooth round stone covered in the same glowing symbols as her skin. She places the stone in John's hand. The stone feels warm and alive, almost like a beating heart. The symbols on it match the mark on his hand and begin to glow brighter. For a moment John sees flashes of images in his mind. Tall crystal towers, a sea of blue grass, a group of alien people smiling and holding hands. He understands these are her memories. She is trying to show him her world. The vision ends and John feels breathless. He thanks her in both English and the galactic language. She nods and points again to the stone. The translator device lights up and translates her words. Bond safe, protect. John finally understands that she believes their bond will keep them safe. He wonders if this is a part of her culture or maybe some kind of alien tradition. The eye suddenly alerts him again. Life signs in cargo bay, unknown origin. John runs to the cargo bay, with the alien girl following close behind. He finds a pattern on the floor glowing just like the symbols from before. The pattern is moving slowly and forming a ring around the supplies. The girl kneels beside the ring and starts to sing softly. The ring shrinks until it disappears completely. The HFY reports energy levels returning to normal. John looks at the alien girl and realizes she just protected them from something invisible. He feels a mix of gratitude and worry. What did he get himself into? He returns to the medical bay with the girl. They sit together in silence for a while. He studies the mark on his hand and wonders how deep this bond goes. Is it forever? Is there a way to break it? The girl finally speaks in broken English. Bond old ritual, protect both, not hurt. John listens carefully and feels a new sense of responsibility. He realizes that this connection might be his only way to survive on this strange planet. He promises to keep her safe as long as he can. In the quiet ship with the blue fog swirling outside, John knows that nothing will ever be the same again. He does not know if this bond is a blessing or a curse, but one thing is sure: his adventure is only just beginning. Morning comes slowly on the strange planet, and John wakes up inside his ship with the alien girl sitting quietly next to him. The blue fog outside has started to fade, and pale light creeps through the ship's small window. John feels tired, but curious as he looks at the mark on his hand, and then at the glowing patterns on her skin. The air is calm but full of quiet questions waiting for answers. John decides to find out more about the strange ritual he has accidentally joined. He gently asks the girl if she can understand him. She nods slowly and tries to speak with careful words. Her English is not perfect, but she wants to communicate. She points at the mark on his hand and says ancient bond. John repeats the word bond and tries to ask what it means for her people. The girl struggles to explain but uses the translator device to help. The device translates her slow words as promise and unity. John wonders if he has made a promise without knowing the meaning. He feels both honored and a little afraid because the word unity sounds strong. The girl opens her small silver bag again and takes out 3 tiny objects. One is a flat stone with moving lights. The second is a crystal ring that hums softly. The third is a thin sheet of glass covered in alien writing. She places them on the table between them. John watches as she touches the flat stone, and suddenly a small image appears in the air above it. It is a projection of 2 alien figures standing side by side. With light connecting their hands, the image moves and shows the figures drawing symbols on each other's skin. John realizes it is a record of the bonding ritual. He studies the image and sees the same glowing marks as on his own hand. He tries to ask if the ritual is dangerous or safe. The girl shakes her head and says safe. She points to the ring and places it on John's finger. The ring fits perfectly and starts to glow with a gentle warmth. John feels a wave of calm in his chest and hears a soft melody inside his mind. He realizes the ring is meant to help him feel safe and strong. The girl smiles for the first time and tells him the ring is a sign of trust. John wonders if he is now married by her culture or just joined as friends. He tries to laugh, but the ship AI interrupts with a new report. Unusual signal detected near the ship. John moves to the window and sees 3 small shapes moving in the distance. He uses the scanner to check and learns the shapes are not dangerous, just small animal life. He breathes easier and returns to the table. The girl picks up the thin sheet of glass and hands it to John. The writing glows when he touches it, and the translator tries to read it. The words appear on his screen. As pairs share support, John thinks about these words and how they might mean more than he knows. He asks if the bond can be broken. The girl frowns and says break is bad. She touches her heart and looks away. John feels a sudden sadness and understands that breaking the bond would hurt her deeply. He decides not to ask more for now. He wants to learn and respect her ways. As they sit together, the ship suddenly loses power for a moment. The lights turn red and the air grows cold. John stands up and moves quickly to the control panel. He sees the ship is being scanned by something outside. The eye says unknown energy wave. The alien girl stands behind John and places her hand on his shoulder. The mark on his hand glows brightly and the power returns. The energy wave outside fades away. John is surprised at how quickly she can stop the danger. He turns to her and asks if her people can control energy. She says yes and shows him how to draw the glowing symbols on the table. John copies her movements and the symbols shine. He laughs and feels more connected to her. He realizes that the bond gives him a small amount of her power. He thanks her and promises to protect her as well. The ship's alarm goes off again, and this time the AI says a message is coming from space. John checks the screen and sees a line of alien text. The translator reads the message as "Where is the chosen one?" John looks at the girl, and she looks frightened. She tells him the message is from her people, and they are searching for her. John asks if they are dangerous. She shakes her head and says family. He feels relief but also worries that they will not accept him. He asks her what will happen if her family finds them. She hesitates and says ritual must finish. John understands that the bond is not yet complete. He wonders what else he must do. He feels the weight of responsibility growing inside him. The girl moves close to John and touches his hand gently. She says, "You are brave." He smiles and tells her he will do his best. They share a quiet moment. John knows that the next step will be important. He wants to make the right choice. As the sun rises higher outside the ship, John thinks about his life on Earth and how different it feels. Now he wonders if he will ever go home again. For now he knows he must learn more about the ritual and about the girl who trusts him so much. He watches as she draws new symbols in the air and teaches him a word from her language. He repeats the word and sees her smile grow wider. They are strangers from different worlds, but now they are connected by the bond, and neither knows what the future will bring. John sits in his small command chair and tries to organize his thoughts as the ship floats quietly on the surface of the blue planet. He looks at his hand and sees the faint glowing mark pulsing with energy while the alien girl stands beside him, tracing new symbols in the air. Her movements are slow and careful, and every time she draws a symbol, it leaves a trail of shimmering light hanging for a moment before fading away. John wonders what all these signs really mean and if he has any choice in what is happening to him. He asks her again about the ritual, hoping she can give him more answers. She sits across from him and opens her silver bag once more. This time she removes a small crystal orb filled with swirling blue mist. She holds it between her palms and hums a soft melody that seems to fill the whole ship with warmth. John feels his fear fade for a while as he watches the orb glow brighter. The alien girl looks at him and speaks slowly in her best English. She says her people come from a world not far from this one. Their culture is very old and full of traditions. The bond she keeps talking about is one of the oldest and most respected among her people. It is called the ritual of joining. John listens carefully and nods as she explains. She tells him that when one of her people is lost or in danger far from home, they send out a call through the symbols on their skin. If a stranger answers this call and gives help with a true heart, the ritual of joining begins. It is not only about healing wounds, but about building trust between two different beings. John asks what happens if someone tries to refuse after the ritual begins. The girl looks sad and touches her chest. She says the bond cannot be broken without great pain. It is a promise of life and hope. John thinks about her words and realizes that helping her was more important than he first believed. He feels both proud and scared as he tries to imagine the future. The girl shows him the crystal orb and tells him it holds memories from her ancestors. She says every bonded pair adds a new memory to the orb. She places the orb in John's hands and asks him to close his eyes. John feels the orb grow warmer as he holds it. He sees flashes of strange cities and fields filled with shining plants. He hears laughter and the sounds of music in a language he cannot speak. He sees two figures standing together and drawing marks on each other's skin. He feels the happiness and hope in their hearts. He opens his eyes and the vision fades. The girl smiles and thanks him for sharing her people's history. John asks her how long the ritual lasts. She tells him it lasts until both partners agree to end it together. If only one wishes to end it, the pain will not stop. She says most bonded pairs stay together for Life, sometimes the bond grows so strong that both partners share their dreams and thoughts. John tries to imagine sharing his mind with another being. He feels a strange mix of excitement and fear. He wonders what secrets she might find in his memories. The girl asks him to trust her. She promises that the bond will protect them both. She says her family will soon arrive, and they will expect to see the ritual completed. John asks what he must do next. The girl draws a new symbol on the table and shows him how to copy it on his own skin. John hesitates but then follows her instructions. As he draws the symbol, he feels a spark of energy shoot through his hand. The ship lights flicker for a moment and then return to normal. He feels a connection. In his mind, he can sense the girl's emotions more clearly now. He knows she is afraid, but also hopeful. The girl takes his hand and tells him the final part of the ritual is a sharing of memories. Each partner must show an important memory from their own life. John feels nervous, but agrees. He closes his eyes and thinks of a time when he was lost as a child on Earth. He remembers the fear and the joy he felt when he was found. He lets the memory flow through the bond. The girl listens and closes her eyes. She shares her own memory of being lost on this planet. She remembers her family searching for her. She remembers the moment she saw John for the first time. John feels her loneliness and the hope she felt when he picked her up. Ship's alarm suddenly sounds again. A large ship appears in the sky above them. The alien girl stands and faces the window. She says her family has arrived. John feels a strange pressure in his chest as he watches the ship land nearby. He knows this meeting will decide his future. He takes a deep breath and stands with the alien girl by his side. Together, they prepare to meet her people and complete the ritual of joining. John knows nothing will ever be the same again. John stands at the ship's main door with the alien girl beside him as the huge vessel from the sky lowers itself onto the rocky ground just a short distance away. He feels his heart race with fear and hope at the same time because he knows this meeting will change everything. The alien ship is shaped like a bright silver flower with delicate petals opening one by one to reveal a soft blue light inside. A group of tall figures steps out, moving slowly and gracefully toward John's little ship. They wear shimmering robes and their faces look both beautiful and serious. John sees the same glowing marks on their hands and faces as the girl beside him. The air fills with a gentle humming that seems to calm his nerves for a moment. Alien girl steps forward and speaks in her own language. The words come out clear and musical. Her family listens carefully and then turns to look at John. One of the tall figures steps forward and holds out a hand in welcome. The ship's translator device tries its best to interpret the words. "Welcome, chosen one, you have answered the call." John bows his head politely and tries to remember the rituals the girl taught him. He draws a small circle in the air with his hand, and the alien family nods in approval. He feels a wave of relief but then notices the worry in their eyes. The leader of the group speaks again, and the translator says, "The ritual is not finished. A bond half made can bring danger. You must choose accept or walk away." John looks at the girl beside him and sees the fear on her face. He asks her in a whisper what happens if he leaves. She looks away and her eyes fill with tears. She tries to explain that a broken bond brings pain to both souls and sometimes even brings danger from the old energies of her people. John remembers the sharp energy that filled his ship when the bond began. He wonders if that force could hurt them both. He feels trapped between worlds. He wants to protect the girl, but he misses his home and fears what he does not understand. The leader invites John and the girl to enter the alien ship. Inside, everything glows with soft light, and the air smells sweet like flowers after rain. John follows the family down long curved hallways, filled with floating crystals and silent moving shapes. He feels like he is walking through a dream. They reach a round room at the heart of the ship. In the center stands a pool of water that shimmers with shifting colors. The leader explains that this is the place where all bonds are tested. John stands at the edge of the pool, and the family forms a circle around him and the girl. They begin to sing a slow, ancient song. The pool glows brighter and the mark on John's hand starts to burn. He feels the emotions of everyone in the room washing over him. He hears hope and fear and longing all mixed together. The girl takes his hand and together they step into the shallow pool. The water feels cool and alive images begin to appear in the water. John sees his life on Earth. He sees the people he left behind. He sees the moment he found the alien girl in the snow. He sees her loneliness and her courage. The leader asks John one question: will you accept the bond and stay, or will you break the ritual and return to your world? John's mind spins with doubt. He wants to go home, but he cannot ignore the pain in the girl's eyes. He knows his choice will change both of their lives forever. He stands in silence while the water ripples with color. He remembers the memories they shared and the trust she gave him. He thinks of the ancient energy that might hurt them both if the ritual breaks. He asks the leader what will happen if he stays. The leader explains that the bond will protect them and give them new abilities. They will become part of the oldest story of her people. If he leaves, the bond will become a wound that never heals. John looks at the girl and feels her fear through the connection in his hand. He tries to imagine a life on this strange world with her. He tries to imagine returning to Earth with a broken heart. The song of the family grows louder and the pool of water grows warmer. John knows he must decide now. He takes a deep breath and closes his eyes. He thinks of all the adventures he dreamed about as a child. He thinks of how he has always searched for meaning. He opens his eyes and looks at the girl. He tells her in simple words that he will not leave her alone. He promises to honor the bond and stay. A wave of joy passes through the room. The family sings a new song filled with hope. The water in the pool glows brighter than ever. The girl hugs John and her tears fall into the glowing pool. The mark on his hand changes and becomes a symbol of unity. The leader welcomes him into their family. John feels a new strength inside himself. He knows there will be challenges ahead, but he also knows he made the right choice together. They step out of the pool and into a new life. John is no longer just a visitor. He is now a part of the story of the stars. Asterisk. The glow of the pool fades as John steps out with the alien girl, and the family gathers around them in a warm circle. A gentle breeze moves through the alien ship and tiny lights float through the air like fireflies on a summer night. John looks at his hand and sees the new symbol shining there. While the girl smiles at him with relief and gratitude, her family bows their heads and begins to sing a soft melody that fills the room with comfort. John feels a sense of peace settle in his heart, but a small shadow of worry still lingers because he does not fully understand what this new life will bring. The leader of the family gestures for John and the girl to follow him to another chamber deep inside the ship. They pass through tall silver doors and enter a room filled with ancient carvings and crystal statues. The walls are covered with glowing symbols that shift and move as if alive. In the center of the room stands a great stone tablet covered in writing from top to bottom. The leader touches the stone and the symbols light up. He turns to John and the girl and begins to explain the true meaning of the ritual. He says that the bond between two beings is more than just a promise of friendship or care. It is a survival pact that was created long ago, when the galaxy was young and the stars were still new. Back in the old days, his people faced a great danger from the darkness that lived between the worlds. Many were lost because they did not trust others, so the first bond was made between a stranger and a traveler. The ritual was built to share strength and hope across different worlds and species. It protected those who opened their hearts to the unknown. Over time, the ritual became more than a shield. It became a way to share memories, feelings, and dreams. It allowed two minds to become one for a moment and to understand each other beyond words. But the leader warns that the bond is a living force. If broken, it can cause pain and sadness so deep it feels like being lost in the dark forever. John listens and tries to understand the weight of what he has agreed to. He looks at the girl and sees her trust. He wants to make her proud, but his mind is full of questions. The leader continues and says that the bond can give both partners new abilities. Sometimes they can heal faster or sense danger before it arrives. Sometimes they can see visions of possible futures. But all these gifts come with the promise to care for each other no matter what happens. John thinks about the energy that once shook his ship and realizes it was the ritual's power reaching out to connect them. He wonders if he is strong enough to carry this new responsibility. The girl takes his hand and leads him to a small pool of blue water at the edge of the room. She kneels beside the water and dips her hand in a swirl of images rises above the surface, showing moments from her life. He sees her family teaching her the ancient songs. He sees her alone on the planet searching for help. He sees the hope in her eyes when John found her in the snow. John feels her loneliness and courage like it is his own. He kneels beside her and places his hand in the pool. His own memories rise and mix with hers. He sees his home on Earth, the laughter of his friends, and the first time he looked up at the stars and wished for an adventure. The leader smiles and says the ritual is now complete. Their memories have become one. The ship shakes as a low sound rumbles from the world outside. The leader tells them that the bond has drawn the attention of the cosmic forces that guard the ritual. A great test is coming, and they must face it together. John stands and feels a strange energy in his body. He senses the presence of something powerful moving closer to the ship. The girl stands with him, and they face the doors as the family forms a protective ring. The leader sings a song of courage, and the walls of the room begin to glow brighter. John feels a wave of calm wash over him. He hears the girl's thoughts in his mind like a gentle whisper. She tells him not to be afraid because the bond will protect them. The doors open and a shadowy figure enters. It is tall and made of shifting mist with eyes that shine like distant stars. John and the girl step forward and hold hands. The figure speaks in a voice that echoes through the room. Are you truly joined? Will you care for each other? In the darkness as well as the light, John answers with his heart, and the bond on his hand glows bright as the sun. The figure nods and slowly fades away. The room becomes quiet, and the family breathes a sigh of relief. The leader turns to John and the girl and says they have passed the first test. He tells them that the real adventure is only beginning. John looks at the girl and she smiles. He knows he is ready for whatever comes next as long as they face it together. The ship is quiet after the shadowy figure leaves, and John stands with the alien girl at his side, while her family gathers around them in a soft circle of glowing robes. A feeling of new strength and warmth moves through John's chest as he looks at the mark on his hand shining like a little star. The ritual has changed something deep inside him, and the air is thick with a sense of peace and possibility. The leader of the family speaks in a calm voice and explains that the bond they have created is now a living force. It will protect them in ways they cannot yet imagine. John nods and feels the girl's hand in his. He can hear her thoughts like gentle echoes in his mind and knows she feels the same hope he does. Suddenly, the ship shakes with a rumble that makes the walls tremble. Everyone turns to the window and sees strange lights flickering in the sky above the blue planet. A new danger has come. The ship's AI sounds an alarm and warns of a space predator moving closer. The leader looks at John and the girl and tells them this is the true test of the bond. Together they must use what they have gained to survive. The sky grows darker as a huge shape moves into view. It is a creature made of shadow and fire with eyes like burning moons. The family gathers in the center of the room and sings a powerful song. John feels energy swirling around him as the alien girl squeezes his hand. He feels her fear, but also her courage. He remembers all the memories they have shared and how their bond has grown. The mark on his hand pulses with light, and he realizes they can face the danger if they stand together. The creature circles the ship and slams against the hull with a roar that shakes every wall. John closes his eyes and lets the bond guide him. He feels the girl's thoughts become clearer, and together they call on the ritual's energy. A wave of blue light fills the room and wraps around the family like a shield. The creature tries to break through, but the shield holds strong. John and the girl step forward and raise their hands. The energy between them grows brighter, and the creature shrinks back from the power. For a moment the world is filled with light and music. John feels himself becoming stronger than he has ever been. He knows the bond has unlocked a hidden gift within him. The girl looks at him and smiles with pride. She tells him without words that they are not alone anymore. They are one. The space predator screams and vanishes into the shadows beyond the sky. The ship becomes calm and the shield fades. The leader embraces John and the girl and thanks them for their bravery. The family sings a song of celebration that fills every corner of the ship with happiness. John stands in the center of the circle and feels the power of the bond still glowing inside him. He remembers the day he first found the alien girl lying in the snow. He remembers his fear and confusion and realizes now that every moment has led to this. He looks around at the alien family and feels at home. The leader tells him that the ritual will continue to shape their lives. They must travel together and learn from each other. Their story is now part of the oldest tradition of the stars. John knows he has made his final decision. He will not return to Earth. His life is here with the girl and her people. He will help protect them and learn their ways. The mark on his hand is a sign of his promise. He looks at the girl and she nods. They step outside the ship together and walk onto the blue grass of the planet. The sun rises slowly, casting a golden light over the land. John feels the warmth of the day and the hope of a new future. He sees the alien family following them, and together they start a journey across the shining fields. The memories of Earth are still in his heart, but they are no longer filled with longing or regret. He knows he belongs here now. The bond is more than a ritual. It is the beginning of a new life. John smiles as he looks at the girl and feels the future unfolding like the stars above. He is ready for every adventure that comes next. He knows there will be challenges and mysteries and new dangers in the universe, but he is not afraid. With the bond to guide him and his new family by his side, he is stronger than he ever was. Their journey has only just begun, and together, they will write the next chapter among the endless stars.